So I've decided to cut the reaction segment in favor of splicing some bits in with the review. This is because I'm not someone who has particularly strong initial reactions to things very often, and I don't have a face cam to make it more entertaining, and it took quite a bit of time to edit compared to the rest of the video, and honestly most of the time it was just less developed versions of the thoughts that I put forth in the review section, so I hope this doesn't bother anyone. These episodes have been really good. They make you so invested, yet when you pull back you realize it's just an insanely over-the-top depiction of a perfectly realistic and personal dilemma between two children. And this is one of the things Higurashi has a real talent for, conveying very simple and relatable themes in the most impactful way. The original Higurashi visual novels were the only time a power of friendship message has ever drawn me in and convinced me fully. Higurashi is one of the reasons I have a more optimistic perspective and faith in humanity that I've never had since being a very young child. And this is precisely because of what we've been seeing in these recent episodes, and I am very pleased to experience it all again with you guys, old-timers and newcomers alike. Up to her breaking point in the most recent episode, I've been completely on Satoko's side. Rika has abandoned Satoko after promising to stay by her side, and yes, it is natural for people to drift apart, but her sheer arrogance and not just admitting that it was what happened feels like a spit in the face. She brings up that she had offered Satoko academic help and she declined it, and I've seen many use this to excuse her actions. But you need to remember, Satoko has trouble accepting help because of her past fucking abuse. You're lying. Usada. Knew it. Rika's weak-willed gesture seems to me like nothing more than covering her own ass so she could say she tried. She is fully aware of Satoko's trauma and has spent entire fragments trying to help her overcome it. This is absolutely scummy behavior from a self-proclaimed best friend, and I'm totally willing to condemn her for it. Of course it doesn't excuse Satoko's perpetual murder cycle later on, but I don't think the blame entirely lays with her. Actually, that'd be us. Or specifically Featherin. I know some of you thought that's all kinds of messed when Featherin told Satoko the payment for her abilities would be entertainment, but that's exactly what we're all getting out of it. We are watching a young abuse survivor's interpersonal suffering with a dash of homicide and enjoying it. So from Featherin's, or whatever they decide to call it in this anime, outside perspective, her actions are very understandable. Have any of you played AI Dungeon? It's like pressing enter and letting the AI generate a story until you see something specific that could lead somewhere interesting, and just drop in something ridiculous and over the top to spice up the experience. That is Featherin's perspective. The new ED is alright. I like the visuals. I prefer the first ED song, Kami-sama no Syndrome, to the new one, Irregular Entropy. Honestly, most of Ayano's work for Higurashi, at least, is good but not my cup of tea, including the new ED as well as the OP. The first ED happened to resonate with me much more personally, but let me know what you guys think. The last shot of the ED is what has me a little concerned. As you know if you've watched my videos, the gore is not what I come to Higurashi for. However, I believe it was used to great effect in these last two episodes. After depriving us of horror for the past few episodes, succeeding an entire arc of gore gourmet, they give us a shocking gore scene that brings us back. Then another. And then another. And then something interesting happens. They stop showing us the gore of Satoko's repeated suicides and instead set up more outlandish methods and then deprive us of the actual imagery, leaving it to our minds to imagine something much more horrifying than the anime could ever show us. Ryukishi's writing never ceases to impress me. If you've read Umineko, you probably have a good idea of where this is going. Some dialogue in episode 6 of Umineko, maybe what we're about to go through, and I hope you're ready. That's an Umineko line. Finally, I want to branch out and cover my thoughts on more anime than just Higurashi, old and new ones alike. So if you guys have any suggestions, I'll be willing to listen to them. Currently, I've been watching Wonder Egg Priority and enjoying the heck out of it, so I might make a video on that at some point. Thank you guys so much for watching. I go by Tasty Nachos, and you go by... Stop that math. Math bad. Math bad, math bad.